The lesson.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people, at least off the bat, might assume that you guys are from Melbourne.
Yeah.
But you guys are actually from Brisbane.
Yeah. Westline, Brisbane.
4-3.
So tell us about the area in Brisbane that you guys are from.
So when we always yelling 4-3, that's the postcode, 4300. I think it's 5 suburbs. So you got Gales, Goodna, Camira, Carroll Park, Bellbird Park. So it's like, it's not a ghetto, you can go there, you know, but it's a fucking working class community, and there's the different parts, like Goodna is the hub in the centre, and like you can get robbed there, or you can't get robbed, you know, it's both, but it's got shit been going down for years, and it's very community orientated, and so, you know, when we came into the game, it just felt right to rep that. You know, there wasn't many other people yelling where they're from anyway.
It sits on the border too, so you've got Brisbane here, and you've got Ipswich and where the 4-3, so it's
right
just on that border.
You know?
Yeah. So
well,
even
Brisbane City Council will do your bins, and Ipswich will do your fucking water.
Yeah.
You know, it's right.
Yeah.
So, you know, as much Ipswich as Brisbane, when we fucking represent. The West line refers to the train line, which is the Ipswich line, runs from Brisbane out to Ipswich. So that's the train line that we're on.
But if you're really a Westliner, we only claim to Gales. That's for any Westliners. Gales backwards is Westline. Anything further than that isn't.
Starting to get a bit close to the city. So,
yeah.
But that's, you know, like I was Camira all my life, and he did a few. Look, you were in Goodna.
Yeah, Goodna, Red Bank sort of areas.
Red Bank is another
which
suburb
is all
close.
in the 4300.
And so, yeah, I mean, they're working class communities. You got a bit of everything going on out there, you know. And when we came in the game, it just felt right to be yelling that, because we were so the crew of us that was painting. So I didn't paint, but the boys that were painting were hard. Like you said, from Darra backwards, you couldn't really come in on the line or the highway without seeing the pieces. So it's like, all right, and just so strongly bonded. All our friends, I got friends of 25 years, you know. Guys that I went to grade 1 with, they're still friends now.
Yeah.
You know.
Most of our crew is from that, you know, from when we were 10, we're all the same crew still.
So that's that's probably the biggest factor, is your friends from there, you grew up with. So as you're older, it's like, you utilise the city and shit. We used to go out, of course, you've got to go out to the city for events and all that. But yeah, I spent a lot of my 20s just there. You know, parks, the streets, pubs. So yeah, you know, and I love it. Some people get fucking a bit twisted. They're like, oh, you're yelling 4-3 or something, you know. They might think it's something else, but it's just, you know, that's because it's where we're from. You know, all my life, all my life was there. So it just felt right all the time too.
It's a lower socio-economical area.
There is, man, you know,
That's
like
all.
you go down, there's a lot of multicultural. You go down to Goodna, it's a lot more, especially now, they're gentrifying it. You know, everything's going to flats. You got your housing commission. Camira's the same. Camira's a bit nicer, to be honest. They've got bigger yards and shit. But at the top people, you know, you can have anything. Your inhabitants dictate, and a lot of fucking goons, man. Car fucking hoons, you know.
A lot of car.
We've seen a lot of that
into
shit.
that sort of that scene.
As youngsters, like my corner where my parents lived, fucking was the burnout corner of the suburb, man. You know, like people just come down there just doing burnouts. So.
Dudes are just doing up beautiful cars, and you know, the car culture's huge around there. You know.
Yeah.
And then, so how did you guys link up? Like, you guys been homeboys since back in the day?
That's probably a funny story. I mean, Jovan was kicking it with some of those boys a little bit before me, but initially we met up as little skate rats, basically. Yeah, and he was like back in the day, he had this huge curly wig thing. I don't even know what it was, man, but you could see this dude from a mile away, and you could hear him from a mile away. And I just remember him being one of the funniest dudes I'd ever met, you know. So we'd be at the skate park and this dude'd be, you know, cracking jokes to make up for his nil skateboard skills. Yeah, but it started like that. We would have been 14.
Yeah. Actually, fucking Rory was really good at
14
skateboarding,
maybe?
man. Like really good sponsorship sort of level.
Yeah.
Getting put on and that as you got a bit older. And
Yeah.
so, like, I used to hang with, say, Peace Barracks at the skate park, and we knew of these guys. There was fucking Rory and another fella, very good, and it was like, fuck, they're from our way. So we just got, just started to, hey, we go skating together, skating
But of
turns
course-
to hanging out after to go on parties.
It's like as soon as you've come together. I think it was like the first time we ever got in the car together and went up to the shop. It was like someone put on hip hop, you know, and it was like, you know, we all listened to the same shit, and then
Natural.
yeah, I think how long after that did we start the group? Maybe 3 or 4 years after that.
Yeah, probably by the time I was, actually, we
19?
didn't really, 18 or 19, probably is when we started Kings Connected, and we weren't even Kings Connected back then.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a name. Actually, we started as solo MCs, even though, well, the crew thing kicked off from skating.
Oracle
Oracle.
and
That was
User.
my rap name.
User. And I changed that name real quick after a while, because I was like, dudes are going to think I'm fucking booting up or something. I was like, no, man, it was like my tag when I was a little kid, you know.
It gravitated from that, though, from the skating, was then hanging out, was then drinking and smoking and going for walks to get pizza and fucking playing pool, and there was always the music on in the background.
Yeah.
There was painting.
Listening to a lot of West Coast
partying.
shit at the time too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
lots of West
heavy
Coast
influenced
stuff.
by West Coast.
Mm.
And so that's probably the...
Can I cut you off? Jovan had, at that time, he'd already been in the book, sort of thing. He'd already been sort of secretly penning
On the low.
rhymes or something, you know. So it wasn't a little bit later till we were walking home one night up a street, and he just started freestyling, you know, kind of
It
out
was
of
a
nowhere.
verse. I kicked the
It
verse.
was a verse that
I
he'd
had
written, so I was like, man,
Now's
this
the time to
is
show
something
him.
we've got to do. And I think I remember on that walk, I said, this is it. We're going to make a group, you know. And at the time, I didn't think I even rapped. I just knew.
I was very
You know.
quiet with it.
Yeah,
I knew I wanted to have a go at it. But just the way I was listening to it, I was like, I listened to it different to other people. We're listening to the words. We're recognising this word rhymes with this word, but it's a different rhyming word at the end of the sentence, you know. And then in the next bar, they're doing the same too. So you could kind of look at it like a matrix, you know. I was looking at it. So I started writing, but I never fucking wanted anyone to hear it, you know, until I could see him the same. He was like, he listens to it that particular way. He's talking about certain words from a verse, he's identifying with flows. So that's when I was like, I fucking showed him a verse, and it was just like on from there.
I think we recorded on record and pause for maybe like 3 or 4 years under the house, just not even knowing that you could make a CD or anything like that. Just
I think
because
it was
just
best
for the
for
fact
us
of
because
MCing.
we did it the hardest possible way. And I mean, this is early 2000s, so technology is there. You could have gone.
Yeah, we could have. Yeah,
But
we were
we had the
hanging
fucking-
the microphone off the basement roof and then hanging it down, and had the tape deck here, and I'd rap into it here, and then a couple of bars, and then he grabbed the mic, you know.
The PlayStation was running into the sound system, so the beats are made on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's running in the sound system.
PlayStation
the sound
1.
system and the computer, so you could see where the beat was. Everything plays with the mic hanging down. There was no takes, no edits. You had to push fucking play, push record.
And you didn't probably think that you could actually do takes or rhyme over different bits, because you just thought you had to do one verse.
Yes.
That's how you recorded a whole song, just live.
Fucking true.
You
It
know?
didn't
So
even
that's how
occur
we
to us at
recorded,
that
just
point.
live the whole song. You have to get the whole thing right, perfect.
Actually, I still write with that mentality. Like, as I write, I think, well, I've got to spit it in one take. you
yeah.
know? I mean, obviously you don't have to, but it does pay, like it plays on the mind when I write, even a rhyme, if I write a rhyme tomorrow, it's like, oh, I know I need a breath here, or, you know.
You can utilise the process to make your recording sound doper, but by the time you get to the stage to rap that verse, and you've got shit that's overlapping, you can't actually
Do
rap.
that live.
Yeah. So, you know, you should take that in consideration.
Conscious of it, yeah, definitely.
You're writing your verses, yeah.
And then, how did you guys come up with the name Kings Connected?
Over a number of years.
Yeah, it was always something was going to be Kings because the 3 letters of our crew that we were at, there's a K up in there for Kings. So I was like, we were going to do something with the Kings. And I've said this before, but we tried a couple of things. Kingdom's Infantry was one that sort of half stuck. Like we did our first ever sort of gig, which was like on the back of it was in a Namatjira Park at Redbank Plains.
That's the first show.
Yeah, and it was like a
Mind you, we had
community day.
We had pants on about this big.
Yeah.
I had a bandana on. I had like a baseball fucking shirt on, like
I've got a
big
photo from
baggy,
that shit.
you know. And the mothers were just like,
Yeah, it was more of a kid-friendly day.
yeah, it was
We
a
got
kid.
up
It was a
and
kid-friendly day, you know.
Got up and bust 3
We were
bucks.
listening to Lynch Mob and, you know, like nasty shit. So, yeah, but they seem to like it, huh?
Oh yeah, some little fellas loved it, and fucking a few crew came down to watch. Like, it wasn't a show that we should have been doing. It wasn't the type of music, but it was like opportunity to jump up and hit mics up. So that was the first ever time, and we were called Kingdom's Infantry. I can remember because it was written on the CD, the beats for the day.
It's about 2001. I'd been over France for a little while. Got into a lot of French rap. Loved the word connection, you know. And there was a movie out back in the day called French Connection.
Yeah.
And I just loved the word connection, and I thought I'd bring that back. And I said, what about Kings Connected or Connection or something like that? And I think it sort of
Just
amalgamated
itself, really.
from
Yeah.
that, yeah. And it was like KK.
Kings Connected. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we
spelt it
put
with the
3
fucking-
Ks in it. We're like, oh shit, you don't want 3
Can't do
Ks.
that.
Oh,
We had it
we've got
spelt with
Serbian
the-
and black
with the-
fella. We're going to put 3 Ks in under it.
And it was spelt Kings Connected with a C even
Yeah.
fucking in the beginning.
I think everybody spelt it with a C for maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
The lesson. 927. Oh, yeah.